Hello, hi everyone. Welcome and thank you so much for being here. We're gonna do a collective and timeless reading. So whenever this reading finds its way to you is the right time, but keep in mind, it's still a general reading. So see which signs and symbols and messages resonate for you in your particular situation and hopefully help to bring you a little clarity on whatever you're wondering, concerned, and confused about. It could broaden your perspective and show you something with fresh eyes in a different way, or narrow your focus and show you something that maybe was in the dark, or perhaps in between the lines, or right there all along. But in the end, always trust yourself. That divine inner guidance is inside of you, and try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition so that your decisions are sound and based in love and for the highest and greatest good of everyone. So we're all uplifted in love. Let's begin. Let's start today with the Surrealist. Let's start with one tarot card and get a general complicated because these single cards are very complicated and beautiful picture tapestry of the energy going on and helpful advice for you guys. Let's see what God's source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels, and energies of love have for the highest and the greatest good of all. Clarity for the collective, wisdom, advice, and insight to begin the energy going on right now. One card foundation of this reading, please. Ooh, what we got going on here, Mr. King? Oh my, all right, so we have a King of Swords coming through first. I really like this picture. There's so much happening. Look at this girl. She's the first thing I see. All right, so there's this king. One of his hands is this beautiful, mostly naked girl. And in the other hand, it's like this man with a cape. He looks like he's dapper and on a mission. Behind is a tower with almost like a statue going like this. What is going on? There's so much happening. There's a hat. There's a pair of lips. I'm going to show you that first. Oh, look at these cards. Can you see this? A pair of lips with legs and a cute little top hat. Okay, this is the best way to start a reading ever. I see this girl here, and I think it's Kim Basinger, and the movie where it's the Joe Cocker song, You Can Leave Your Hat On, and she does that little dance-a-roo. That's the first thing I see with that. You can leave your hat on. Ooh, yeah, it's a good song to start with. Okay, King of Swords, air sign. Somebody really in their head, usually very good at communicating, but sometimes when they are too in their head, they actually aren't so good with communicating. That would be upside down. Somebody very logical. They like to come up with solutions. I just heard sweet talker, so maybe this person's kind of a sweet talker. They usually know a lot about a lot of different subjects and or a lot about one particular subject that they're really into. So Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, this could be somebody you know. This could be you, or this is just the energy coming through in the beginning of the reading to give you a little insight on the general personality that is coming through in this reading, because we all have many, many facets of our personality. So I do see this hand kind of here. You see this hand is kind of like trying to open this person's eye. So maybe someone was like refusing to see something, and there's an energy coming through to kind of see reality in a situation. This person here looks like they're in the dark, maybe facing the shadow side of something. And this guy's body is roots. So there's deep roots in a situation, but this looks like both wind and fire. That just made me think of Earth, Wind, and Fire, the band. So there could be a lot of thinking going on. Somebody's making some plans. They're trying to see something in the bigger perspective up here. Maybe this masculine is thinking about this feminine. Maybe this other person over here, or different facets of his own feminine and masculine side. I mean, upside down, he's totally ignorant to being open-minded. He's inflexible. It's his way or no way, because his is the only way that could possibly work. He's not up to being expansive or adaptable or flexible. He's very, very rigid and kind of an ass. Kind of talks over people, dismisses people, ignores people, sticks his head in the sand when he refuses to accept responsibility in a situation. But upright, he has pretty good self-awareness. I would say when he messes up, he owns it, has a conversation, fixes it, makes it right. So let's see. Let's see what this king is all about. Let's switch up and do something different, though. Actually, let's do this. Let's go to a different tarot deck, and let's get another layer to this King of Swords from a different deck. This is the Jazz Age Tarot. I know this is a really weird thing to say, but this particular deck of cards has a different smell than any other deck of cards, and I have a lot. This one smells different. It almost smells like an old library, which is kind of interesting because it's like really old movies and stuff, but I feel like even the smell of this deck of cards smells like it's probably from the Jazz Age. That was a weird thing to say, but every single time I shuffle these cards, I get that smell. It takes me like right to a library. So maybe this King of Swords is getting some information. Maybe it's not necessarily a library. Maybe something in a book. Revising old information. Let's get some clarity on this King of Swords. Please, a little more depth to what we need to know about the energy going on. Let's do two. The energy going on within this King of Swords first. Oh, wow. Well, it's dark in there. And yet, looks like the VIP room might be going on behind this big black door. I think this is a bonus card. That's a speakeasy. So you have to have the right, like, knockaroo. You have to be the right person to be invited into that place. It's like, I'm just getting a very VI. So maybe this King of Swords only lets out the information that goes on inside of him or her to the people he trusts that got the invitation, that are allowed inside. Maybe the ones that feel like they're going to make that party inside of him happy and joyful. I don't think you'd get the invitation to this speakeasy if you were sourpuss. So maybe it's the right person that gets the invitation to see what's behind this door. Let's see what's going on with the energy around this King of Swords, please. I like when there's bonus cards. I mean, when I think of a speakeasy, I just think of like you open that door and there's lights and celebratory energy, really cool music, really beautiful costumes and sparkles. And I don't know, maybe this is a real special speakeasy. Maybe there's only like one or two or a couple people actually allowed in this. Maybe that's this person's true friends. I actually hear invite. So maybe this King of Swords is inviting you to maybe a really special occasion and or something that he's kind of been planning in that, you know, brilliant mind of his or hers for a long time, but kept it under wraps. What's the energy going on around this King of Swords? Oh, movement. That's pretty good. You have the Chariot. Look at that fancy car. I wish one of you knew what this was. I mean, my instinct wants to say it's a Rolls Royce, but I know some old cars, but not all of them. So the Chariot is wanting to move. Finally, feeling like you're on the path to destiny because it's a 7, but that's a spiritual path, in my opinion. I mean, this could be just general movement in his or her life as well. But this is good. When the Chariot comes, it's a really fast car. A card. Maybe a fast car. Oh, I just thought of Tracy Chapman. He's got a fast car. I've got a ticket to where I can't get the words. That's a good song. Maybe he drives a fast car, or he drives his car a little fast. Maybe once this plan is made or this door is ready to open up, you actually maybe take a road trip. This could be actually like traveling somewhere. Could be in energy, in the mind, in the soul, in physical reality. This is finally taking control of a situation, recognizing, this king is probably recognizing that he's probably the one that should be in the driver's seat of this amazing car. Which is sometimes just metaphorical, you know? Your road, your destiny, your path. I would say if this King of Swords has this car and trusts anyone else to drive it, there's a lot of trust there. Or he's teaching someone. It could be that too. All right. I looked, so let's take a peek of this. I was going to go to something different, but you do have the Four of Wands at the bottom. So maybe that's the underlying energy. This is usually a beautiful, I heard a movie moment. It can be. It's that dance under the gazebo. It's sometimes a party. Maybe that's what's going on behind here. Sometimes it's a wedding or something leading up to a wedding, but it's something that brings stability because it's a 4. It's the stability of these beautiful moments. So it's not a real grounded kind of moment. This is a passionate, creative, expressive, get lost in non-time kind of moment. It's like a really good day. It's a really good, you know, sexy Latin dance. It's a awesome car ride. It's that moment. I just see this card as the moments that are those special little chapters in our life that we really remember and that we should have more of. We should get a lot of these moments in our life because I feel like they're always really special. There's something that's worth living for, basically. So, but sometimes let's just say this is thinking about a wedding or a big party or an event of anything. And there's a lot of planning, maybe for years, maybe it was spur of the moment kind of thing. But it's that there's that anticipation of leading up to something, but when you get to that moment, sometimes that moment is gone in a flash. It's gone in a blink of an eye. So you always do have to consider what's going to happen with cleaning that situation up. If there's, you know, a big old mess after that party, it's getting up the next day, maybe planning that next moment, but don't put all of the energy you have into that moment and then forget that there can be more. That's kind of what I'm getting. If this is upside down, it's never going to that special occasion. It's not saying yes to that dance. It's being kind of a party pooper. It's knowing that you have these dreams that you want to take control and drive to make these dreams happen, and then just never leaving the driveway. That's kind of this upside down, where there's so much possibility that this can create such a beautiful fiery foundation. It's like you can always have this newness with this card. So let's see. This photograph is so weird. It's so like proper. I feel like, you know, they like they all pose so properly to have this little moment in the picture so they can frame it, but there's probably like a crazy ass party after party going on behind this closed door, where there's probably like such better candid shots, you know, that are real. And this is pretty, but there's probably something else happening that feels like, it's like that, you know, when you get that shot, that it's just truth. It's that natural smile. There's something different about it. So, all right, let's see what this is about. Now, I'm not sure where to go. Should we do an angel number? Yeah. Except that's only the top of the box. Okay. Let's do an angel number. Let's kind of get a little message of what's going on inside and around this King of Swords. It's also a masculine energy, although there's that beautiful lady there with that "oh come hither" look. All right, let's get one card. Bring a little clarity. Help to the energy going on here. Thank you. 10-11. It's taking action. I just said something about masculine energy. And hey, got the Chariot. So it's about stepping on the gas, leaving the driveway, heading down that path of destiny. Heading to this amazing situation. Maybe this place that maybe this, you know, door was locked before. Now something is ready to open up. Take action. It's hope. It's a new beginning. It's a fresh start. I can probably see this, but I don't hear. A fresh start, lifestyle purpose, and a spiritual awakening. I mean, when I saw this, the first thing I thought of was that spiritual path. Not necessarily something that, I mean, it's cool to have grand opportunities, you know, that you're really proud of in everyday world, but I feel like this is kind of it's kind of something different. It's like you're going down this highway, and instead of made of concrete like every other highway, I see it like diamonds or moonstones or like alexandrite or something really special. Maybe it's like raw diamonds, you know, that it kind of looks like it could be gray coal, and then it still has that sparkle, and you're like, oh no, that's not coal, that's something different. So maybe it's like a diamond in the rough situation. That's kind of cool. I like that little vision. This is a call to action to move forward. The sooner you get going, the sooner you get going, the sooner you will have this victory. I added that. I ad-libbed that part. And accomplish what you set out to do. Those with patience will eventually reap the rewards of their perseverance. It's telling you to keep going. You know, if you had to take a detour, if that road got bumpy, if you had to go the long way around, it's telling you just Keep going. Don't stop before the good part comes, because it looks like there's a pretty good moments ahead. All right, so should we bounce around? Yeah. I kind of feel like I want to pull a place. So let's do it. Oh yeah. Except I don't know if I have it, so maybe we're not supposed to. Yeah. I really thought I brought it with me. Well, let's not get stuck. If it's not here, maybe it's not supposed to come out today. Let's do something else. Let's do, well, I don't know why I'm going for the romance angels, but let's do it. Let's see what's going on in the love department. Why not? Clarity on the Chariot, the Speakeasy, taking action, the Four of Wands, and this Knight of Swords, please. Wow. Let's take one card. What do we need to know to be helpful? Let's say, kind of want to know more about this road, this path. Make the effort. Okay, this is a romance deck. It's like a totally different energy from any of these others, but it's pretty much telling you the same thing. Make the effort and take action. It says great love is worth taking the steps you are guided to take. Great love, this could be a partnership. This could also be somebody else's energy working their way to you. I don't really feel like it's a brand new person. I do feel like there is some kind of stability or something here. Or it could be a new person, but there's something really, really big that's energetically felt right away. But you or someone else needs to take some effort, like some steps towards something, the effort. Oh, this little, look at how cute this little boy and girl are. He's just getting, look at you, just giving her a little kiss. It's pretty innocent. So maybe it starts innocent. Maybe this is a really pure situation. But if this is not romance for you, this is taking action on what you love to do, what really makes your heart feel fulfilled. So that could be a subject that you're into. It could be a certain environment where you just feel better when you're in this environment. It could be pursuing that career that you've always dreamt about, or maybe something that's new that's really, really sparked your interest. Maybe it feels like it's a hard road if you have to go back to school or learn something again or something like that. You don't know what's behind that closed door here. I feel like you're going to be pleasantly surprised, and it looks like your soul is actually kind of giving you an extra little nudge to try to go that direction. Like put extra energy into something. So let's go to something different. Clarifying love situations. Taking action, making the effort. Four of Wands, Chariot, King of Swords, speak easy. Kind of want to see more about this door. Let's just get another layer, maybe knowing what's going on behind that door. Ooh, Something feels a little risky. It's taking, but this is, I mean, maybe that's why there was an effort being made. Maybe that's why something was kind of shut behind closed doors or tucked away in this king's heart or mind or energy, or, you know, I kind of see like somebody sitting in this beautiful fancy car and it just kind of sitting in the garage or sitting in the driveway and never like taken out for a spin. So maybe a situation is like a big chance. Maybe this situation, you know, it's playing the, it's not, I'm getting that, like, it's not really, sometimes you don't choose which cards you know, are dealt to you, but it's how you play that hand. I'm kind of getting that this is definitely something that could create a lot of change or feels really new. Maybe that feels uncomfortable. I kind of see like that spark. It's almost like you have that sparkly road ahead and you can kind of follow that as a map, but maybe it's brand new territory as well. So it's love that does involve a risk. Taking chances says to take that chance. There's a new beginning here. Fresh start. Lifestyle, it's purpose, and it's a spiritual freaking awakening. But sometimes to get out of the comfort zone is really hard. You know, it's like that fool standing there at the top of the mountain. Do you take that first step? You know, did you pack your toothbrush? You never, you know, this is a new land. Everything feels really different. You know, are you going to be able to talk to the animals in this land? Are you going to figure out where to stay tonight? So much happening. But if you kind of get stuck and never take that leap of faith, you never know. This is you got to step up to bat and try, especially if this is something that feels like it's a great love of your heart. It feels like, I mean, it's going to bring you victory here. This is not like the little victory card. This is the big victory card. It says playing. It also says playing with fire, a lot at stake, facing fears and gambling. So sometimes it is taking a chance, but that's you or someone else using your discernment in every single decision and situation. Is this something that feels worth it or not? And when that fool is in that journey, if there's something that needs to be figured out, this fool has such an open mind, wide-eyed, childlike wonder of this brand new world, that it's like open arms, like, I don't know what that is. Maybe I should give it a go. And it's not about being perfect, because the fool's going to be a little bit of a fool every once in a while and mess up. But it's getting back up and being willing to learn and try something again and adjust. And there's that period where you figure out before you get to be the magician that all of this open energy and open mind and open heart allowed so much new information and beauty into your new world, that if you are stuck and stagnant with that old world of everything that you thought that you knew, you never discover. You never even knew because you never even tried. So let's switch it up again and do something different. These. Should we do this? Yeah, let's do something different. This is the Botanical Inspirations. Let's get one message from this. Keep looking. Ooh, that one flew. I keep looking at that playing with fire, and it's recognizing which situations, you know, it's like, you know, when you're, let's just say you're a kid and you know that the stove is hot, don't touch it. That stove is hot, don't touch it. But sometimes you have to understand what hot is to say, ooh, I know that's hot. And then you learn. So I feel like that with this, I feel like, especially with the King of Swords, there's intelligence here, like beyond measure, to figure out if anything is too hot. That, oh, she was really loud. Hold on, I'll show you this card, but I'm going to pause it. I think she's done barking, but she's still kind of grunting at the window over there. So if you hear that, I'm sorry if that was really loud on the device you're listening to. But kind of got lost with what I was saying. But I also see that fire. Just, as you got the 4 wands. You have this possible flame that can be a little more like the eternal flame. That warm campfire that the Fool discovers to create this beautiful environment where, think of a campfire, what can you do? It's useful. It creates warmth, it creates protection, you can roast some marshmallows, you can cook on that fire. So I feel like fire can be very, very useful. But how do you take that useful spiritual fire and keep it alive or restart it when needed? I'm not even sure what I said just there, but here we have the daffodil, and you're getting the same message. It says rebirth. Where did it say? Spiritual awakening, rebirth, a new start, new beginnings. It makes me think of when the daffodils actually do sprout out, right when that sun comes out after the winter. It's like that first cool thing that you see and you're like, oh, here they come. And they're so beautiful, and they come back every year. This is something that keeps coming back in the right season. Oh my gosh, these words are so teeny, teeny tiny. New beginnings are often disguised as painful endings. It's true. Whenever there's a big, change in chapter in our life, whatever it is, it usually means this big change, especially if it's huge, involves having to leave an old way or an old thing or an old something behind. It's still taking the beautiful things that you can with you. You pack the appropriate suitcase, and I'm getting that toothbrush thing again. If you forgot your toothbrush, you can figure out where to get another one. So it's Lao Tzu. So sometimes you do have to allow something to be done. And that can be really hard to actually shut a chapter. But it looks like whatever chapters are coming up, heading you on the spiritual path of victory, looks like it's really worth the effort. But that's free will. That's something for you or someone else to have to choose and figure out. So maybe that's where you or someone else is at right now, but you're not going to know unless you try. Then it's just this king getting all stuck in fantasy land in his head and not knowing. Also, sometimes endings are inevitable. Sometimes it's a situation outside of our control. Sometimes it's a situation in your control. So it's taking back the control, seeing what you can do. Whatever can you make? What can you do with yourself in your own environment where your power is supposed to be, and not pushing power out there for anyone else to feel something they don't feel or do something they don't want to do. You have to have that freedom and free will. So everyone gets to make the choice. I found on that little breakaroo the place. So I kind of want to just get a place. Let's just see what comes through. These cards keep surprising me. I think I have a Michael Jackson song in my head. The one when he was a kid. I think the one that Mariah Carey did. You and I will make take a chance. We must make salvation. You're with me. I'll be there. Guess I'll be there. One card, a little clarity for you guys, please. Living room. Look at this fancy living room. Oh my goodness. Where is this? Comfortable space. It's like a family gathering. I mean, I would be kind of afraid to sit on this white leather couch. It's so pristine. Maybe somebody has very elegant style. It looks very modern, but I don't think it's about the style here. It's wherever you feel comfortable. It could be in an old, creaky, rocking chair on a porch. It's where you feel comfortable, where you feel like you want to put your energy, where you can see yourself living. It's going to be a different style for everyone, but it's where you feel comfortable. But if there's a leaving something behind, it could also be leaving something that was comfortable. I mean, getting a little bit uncomfortable, because if you're venturing into a new home or a new area or a new anything, a new job, a new relationship, there's always that period where you got to learn. So it's becoming more comfortable perhaps in a new space. Here feels right. Ooh, I don't know about that. We have randomly coming through a government building, public services, administrative agencies. Maybe some of you actually work in a government like a kind of job. It doesn't have to be a building like that, though. You could actually do something even for the environment. Maybe you're getting advice or help on something. Or somebody's like kind of practicing politics, maybe. Something like that. We have this wet world. This damp and rainy realm, but moisture abounds. Wet drizzly delight. I kind of love this card, but that makes me think of a kingdom. Let's get one more. One more, please, and thank you. And then we have a lake, which is tranquil waters and reflection. I just see that like campfire here. There's also a boat on the lake. I mean, tranquil waters, reflections. There's a lot of water here. At the bottom. Tavern. Drinks and beverages, pub, food, tavern traditions. Maybe like a local place or something like that is important. Maybe some of you actually own a business, or this is like kind of a place where you meet up. I kind of feel like that looks like a speakeasy a little bit. Sometimes I get like bigger messages with the buildings, but sometimes I feel like it might be more personal to you. So if any of those kind of feel like something you were gonna do or thinking about, maybe you live by a lake, maybe you're meeting a friend at like a pub or a tavern, maybe you pass a government building on the way to work today, maybe you're listening to this in your living room, maybe you're getting a new home. I don't know what to think of this card, but I just love it. Moisture abounds us. I just feel like that card is kind of special for some reason. And tranquil waters, I kind of think of like a spa. So let's just kind of add that as a little pocket of extra to this reading and go to something else. Let's go to another tarot. Let's go to this little mushroom kingdom. Kind of makes me think of the fairies. I think I have the fairy deck here. I do. Right next to me. So let's get clarity on the ending, something going away, something changing, and clarity on the new beginning. I know this is a really weird thing to see, but I keep seeing the lake. And when I think of weird examples, I feel like for some reason maybe it's a parable to come through. But one of the ways when I used to teach about metal to people that I would describe, interesting because I'm now staring at the 8 of Autumn, like helping people learn to get better at working at something, to understand how delicate and fine of a line metal is when you have heat on it, to where it melts just the right amount, or a hair a second too long and it balls up and creates a hole in something that you really care about and sometimes spent a lot on, like, you know, especially if you're working with gold. But when you're like trying to fuse something, so pure metal, and let's just say it's a flat sheet, and you want to get this flat sheet of metal just hot enough so that something, like let's say a little granule, sticks on it. I don't know why I'm giving you guys a metal lesson right now, but maybe this is important. You usually have ochre on the bottom, which is kind of like mud on the bottom side. Usually the piece of metal is sitting on a kiln, so like this oven thing that's really, really, really hot. And on top of that, you have this torch, which is a direct heat on top. And you're moving this torch, you know, over this metal. And when that metal looks like how wind blows on a lake, where it looks like that pattern where you can see the wind blow on the top, that's when it's perfect. Because no matter how thin that little piece of metal is, you still want it to be solid. So it's like a lake, you know, you want it to be cold underneath, and you just want to change that little microscopic surface layer enough so the movement of your torch creates this wind of chains on just the top of a situation. I have no idea why that example came out when I saw the lake, but that was how I envisioned to look at that metal and explain to people what to see. So maybe it's having just the perfect amount of heat on something to create this winds of change, but there's still something deeper in the surface that has to stay there and stay, like, I don't know. I'm not sure what that was about or if that was helpful to anyone. Maybe some of you actually work with metal. Let's continue and look at the reading. I kind of looked at this, so let's keep that and continue. I'm not sure. So we're going to start with this 8 of Autumn, which is working really hard, being diligent, that's putting effort and time into something, taking action, but it's little by little by little getting better and better at something. Every time you do this thing and put energy and effort into it, it gets a little easier. You get a little more expressive with what you're doing. you do it a little faster, or you get a little more detailed. But whether you do something every single day or have to schedule in when you can do it, 4 hours every other day, 1 hour every week, whatever this is that you're working on, it's the continual effort of it that actually helps you manifest, because it is an 8. Sometimes you have to put work in the beginning to something and not really see the return right away, if it's like an apprentice kind of energy, but the return you get from the effort and the skills is going to be so much bigger for you later. I hope that made sense. There's definitely like an apprentice here. Like this little girl's learning from her grandma. Looks like they're like knitting or writing or doing something. It's almost like she's creating this gorgeous purple, sparkly, magical fabric back here. What does it say? Do more research before proceeding. Education in the form of seminars, going back to school, or apprenticeships. Excellent craftsmanship and long-term projects. And then you have renewal. So there is a big ending. This is hearing the trumpet sounding from the heavens that there needs to be a change. This is the big self-awareness card to me. This is really looking at your own actions, what you've done, what you could have done different, looking back at the past and heading towards the world, which is when you're going to end something, to jump on into that new world of the Fool. But here's where the self-reflection comes. Choosing to not do it that same way again if you know it's not working. Choosing the way that you feel is working, and the way you feel is right, and the way you feel like the heavens are calling you to become something. Making whatever effort you can to do that. Letting something go. Shedding old skin. Elevating. I always see this card as elevating, because usually there's people and they're lifting up, and all of a sudden, instead of being in that grave in the ground, they are actually rising to heaven. It is a spiritual transformation. Is this old man like writing in his, like, I'm getting like even Akashic records. There's like these little tiny elf gnomes and fairies and butterflies and a bunny and a bluebird. Hey. So this is you looking at your personal little Akashic records on what you see on your life and what you've done so far, and reevaluating if you want to continue what you're doing or make some big changes, and why. And then adjusting to try. What does it actually say? What does it say? It's Judgment in other decks, by the way. Review the past and the present so you can plan a bright new future, understanding your life purpose, releasing judgments on yourself and others. It's releasing feeling bad about something. If you are aware of something that you didn't like, you could change it now. So don't hold on to it when you can move into new, like a new vibration. And if it's you judging others because of whatever they did and putting really high expectations, judgments, whatever on anyone else, everyone's human. We're all here to learn. And all you can do is concentrate on your particular little classroom and lesson that you are going through. Maybe somebody's in the same classroom. Maybe they'll pass the test. Maybe they won't. Maybe they have to go backwards and do that grade again. Maybe they're going to get ahead of you and jump a couple grades, and you have to catch up. Everybody learns when they are ready. Let's do one more card. One more card to sum up this reading. Clarity on renewal and judgment. Wow, we have judgment and justice. Wow. These are really big. So you are making balanced, beautiful decisions. This is kind of a Libra energy. It's 8. Sometimes it's the 11. Here it's the 8. So it has a combo of strength behind this justice. There's this sword that's just coming down from heaven of clarity, of truth, honor, balance, communication, enlightenment, insight. It's here. You have to take a hold of this sword, which means cutting the cords where it doesn't belong, finding balance between your head and your heart. It can't be in all one or the other. It's being logical and rational and the actual reality of a situation, but you can't forget about your heart. Your heart is so intelligent. Your heart knows what's up. And if you ignore that, that's always going to be there. It's not going to go away. The truth of your heart is real. Look at their awesome outfits. I kind of want one of these fairy outfits. Definitely those cool tights. But you have 2 things here that tell you to do a little reevaluation and a review on something. It's looking back a little bit. Don't get stuck looking in that rear view mirror too long, because you're ready to move forward. But it's moving forward feeling more balanced. Fair. It's being fair to yourself and others. Take the time to review the details carefully. You will, I just had this. You will win in the end. You have multiple things coming through that say that. Make the effort. Take action. Victory. You're going to win in the end. But it's also making fair and objective decisions. We have something we can end on. We have the birds or the power. I like those 2 to end with, but I have other things too. Yeah, let's do the power deck. I hope something came through in this reading that felt insightful and helpful. Always remember that it could just be little parts of the reading that are meant to resonate with you. This could be giving you insight on maybe what somebody else is going through as well. I'm looking at this tavern and the food and beverages, and there's that song by the Anna, I can't get her last name. She does the song about cups. Will you miss me when I'm gone, kind of thing. It's kind of a cute video. I haven't seen it in a while, and I can't really, I think that's what it's named. I'll find that and I'll put it below. It also makes me think of Piano Man. Billy Joel. And what do we have? Wow. Quickening. You guys got some movement here. It's time to get in the car and hit the gas. I mean, that's sort of the big message coming through. It's time to go in a new direction. It's time to let some shit go. It's time to, really reevaluate how you can put something back into balance. It's being fair to yourself and others. seeing if, like, I feel like there is something you feel like is worth this risk. But that could be somebody else taking a risk. Maybe opening up this door, seeing what's behind it. Going to that VIP party, whether that's you and one other person or you and, you know, a bunch of people. The quickening, 5. Let's see what's on the other side. How do I always lose my glasses? And they're usually right here. Oh, you're on these camels. Look at these people on the camels. It's like camels on Mars. Or in this, like, or they're like in the Grand Canyon. And there's that, oh, that's so cool. There's like a cave up here. I don't know, side note, isn't there like, didn't they find like some weird place in a cave in the middle of the Grand Canyon, like old statues and ancient things, almost like they were from Egypt, and maybe that was possibly hidden by the Smithsonian. I don't know if I read that or not. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. Maybe that's just a weird little rabbit hole to go into, but I do find that's interesting. It also makes me think of the interesting subject of giants and bones found in the Americas. Side note, I do find that very interesting though. But this particular cave has a universe in it. So it may have been a long journey. Maybe it's going to be a long journey, but it looks like these camels are definitely the right mode of transportation to get across that desert or vastness of land. This girl's hair is just blowing. Let me see this up close. And on the back is the south, and it's red. You can never really teach a warrior about the unknown with words. You must use experience. But if you look into the eyes of a woman of power, you may catch up with her a little. She has years of truth ahead of you. However, her eyes can quicken you like a river heading towards the rapids. Open yourself with love, not with understanding. You cannot love with your mind. So this is where that's coming in to balance out this card here. This message needed to come through, to not all be logical. Because sometimes love isn't logical, is it? It's just there in whatever form it is, and it comes in many, many different forms as well. This is telling you to listen to your heart. If a camel is walking down a path and another camel passes him, the first camel will go faster to keep up. This is how power works. Don't learn everything with your mind. Quicken your spirit. Wow. You do have this spiritual awakening. Quicken your spirit by letting go of attachments. And move to a stronger vibration of power. I mean, when you just have allowance, when you have freedom, when you don't attach yourself to a particular outcome, attach yourself to any judgmental energies or anything out there, be presumptuous on anything, when you just have that allowance and trust in your connection to God, to the universe, to your path, to destiny. I mean, you want to be in it. You want to be in the now, but there has to be that openness and love. And then the things that can come through, the things that can manifest, to not, have those attachments on something having to be a certain way gives the open allowance that anything can happen. And it puts you back into the real driver's seat. I hope this reading was helpful for you guys. I hope something came through that helped you out, made a little sense. And with that, I bid you adieu. I love you so much, and I will see you soon. Bye.